Hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
Did you say, well, hell? Well, hell, here we are on TV.
That's true.
I think you could say that on TV. I don't think that's bleeped out. That's a
No,
okay
mythological
word.
places are okay to talk about on TV.
Well, that's true. I mean, Dante talked about
Sure.
it. So, and who knows where we are. We know we're not at the Southern New Mexico State Fair, though, because we're here and there's no bowls in the back except for our own bowl.
And we
have
talk
our
a lot
own
of
bowl. Yeah.
And this is Southern New Mexico State Fair weekend. We're up and running right now.
I'm looking at you because you're indigenous here, so this is something you grew up with.
I used to enjoy going to the fair. Even as an adult, I enjoyed going to it.
When were you an adult?
I'm working on it.
Oh, next week maybe?
I haven't been for a couple of years, though, because I do love wandering around all the livestock pens.
Pigs. Pigs are great.
They have the poultry on exhibit that have been judged. Pigs, cows, goats,
wow,
swine.
So the poultry has been judged?
Yes.
Eat, not eat. I mean,
eat later.
Eat later.
This one's leftovers.
Save, fatten up.
They have rabbits. They have guinea pigs.
And they have lots of farm children, like 4-Hers. The 4-Hers do all this stuff, and it's kind of amazing, and it's really a natural thing.
Yes, that's how they learn to be our next food producers.
It's going to be the only way we're going to live through the famine that we would have if everybody became computer scientists.
Right. So today you can go out there. They're going to have livestock judging, and people can actually buy the livestock.
What would you judge that cow? About a 7.
Not guilty.
About a 7. Not guilty.
And there's also lots of great exhibits. Flower arrangements. They judge those. Pies, cakes, cookies. Photographs, artwork,
Do they have
all kinds.
They have those rides?
They have the big carnival there, not to mention the rodeo.
The rodeo is probably the most fun, right? It's the most active.
It is to me.
Yes.
I enjoy the rodeo quite a bit.
Do they wear helmets there?
Yeah, only if they have a head injury already.
Do they do the Star-Spangled Banner there?
Yes, they do.
I bet nobody goes on their knee there because that's a good, yeah.
Now, cowboys you wouldn't see cowboys doing that.
No, they wouldn't do that.
There aren't any black cowboys to speak of.
There are black cowboys. Didn't you just see Blazing Saddles?
But in rodeo one of the top bull riders ever was a black guy named Charlie Sampson. But you don't see too many black cowboys in the rodeo.
Because they get the crap kicked out of them from the world. They don't have to go get beat up by
That's
animals.
what cops are for.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's their rodeo.
Yeah, so there's a lot of events going on.
And is that
today?
The next thing you have listed, the child eating contest? Is that a child eating contest?
That's chili, Michael.
It's
And now, a lot of state fairs have pie eating contests.
Yeah.
Out here they should have chili eating contests. There was a chili eating contest last week at the big event.
The big event, which is the replacement for the whole Enchilada Festival.
Well, not really. It just kind of
really,
worked out that way.
But it's about the same time, and it's big. And, they called it a big event because they said we need something to take the place of the whole Enchilada Festival. It should be big, so people should know it's big, so let's call it the big event.
Well, the big event, it was sponsored by CARE, who
is a charity.
Is a charity all about cancer survival and helping people with their expenses and other aid that they might need undergoing cancer treatment. And part of the events that they had there was a chili eating contest. They also had an enchilada making contest.
I think eating chili might help prevent cancer because, all those hot things, what are those things?
Yes, it stimulates endorphins in your brain.
That's right. Could do it.
I
wouldn't prescribe it only, but,
Right. It's a holistic way.
I think it burns more than radiation does. I mean, especially when it gets in your stomach.
Certainly feels like it.
Yes.
And so I was reading the article in the newspaper about the chili eating contest, and it was tied.
It was tied?
It was all tied up, and one guy said, "I can't go any further." And so the other guy, he ate a chili.
Yeah.
So now he's ahead.
Yeah.
And so they said, "Oh, come on to the other guy. You can eat one. You can eat one." Just about that time, the guy who was ahead threw up.
The guy who just ate the extra chili.
Yeah, he would have won, but he threw up. That disqualified him.
Oh, really? Throwing up disqualified?
That's right. So the second guy won. Problem is, what do you win? Chili. You win more chilies.
Well, obviously you like chili if you're going to be in a chili eating contest. People don't go to pie eating contests because they don't like pie. Or hot dog eating contest.
That's right.
Would you do a hot dog eating contest?
Never.
If it was turkey hot dogs?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh. Any kind of eating contest?
That's food abuse, Michael. Let's face it.
That's body abuse.
Yes.
You're not
and
abusing
I was reading in the article in the paper about the contest. Not once did they mention how many chilies they had to eat.
And they weren't raw, I'm guessing.
Yes, they were
They
raw.
were raw chilies?
I believe they're raw jalapenos.
Raw green? No way.
Yes.
Oh, that would be like, I could eat like 1/76th of a chili like that. You know, you take
Once your mouth's on fire, why stop then?
No, it gets worse. It gets worse. Did you see Colbert on TV? He was eating chilies, and he was burning like crazy. And he said
Yes, I saw
he had
that.
one more to eat. And the guy said, "You don't eat it if you want it." He said, "No, how much worse could it be?" And he ate it, and he ran off the stage.
Well, you knew you
He
were
ran off the stage. We don't eat things that, you know, we have enough danger there. We don't have to self-inflict.
Well, that's why they have the hot dog eating contest, don't they?
Hot dogs are nice. I mean, they're made to be eaten. Chilies are made to be cooked and incorporated with food.
Yes.
Hot dogs are food.
Well, you can call it food if you want to.
I do.
If you like your hog anus, and I know you do.
It's like Hebrew National. Speaking of which,
Yes?
Hebrew National,
Why?
this is the Hebrew National holiday today,
It's true.
which is Yom Kippur. This is called a kippah or yarmulke.
In the military, it's called a cover.
A cover. And what does the Pope call it? His yarmulke.
Anything he wants.
Yes, it's his. But today is Yom Kippur, and if it was truly today, I wouldn't be eating anything. And on today, today I won't be eating anything.
You won't.
No.
When do you get to eat?
Sundown after the end of the service.
Ah, okay.
Today.
You
You start the day before. You have to eat everything before sundown. Then you have to go for a whole day until sundown.
Oh.
Sundown to sundown. Jewish holidays start at sundown. The day starts with the night before, the eve. Eves are
They really
important.
stretch these things out, don't they?
Well, think about it. Every day, you know, from now on till probably Hanukkah, we have holidays, and we do that because we had a lot of history.
You have Jewish friends?
You call them friends?
Well,
Yes, we do.
you know, my Jewish friends, many of which are your Jewish friends,
Yes, that's true.
most of which of my Jewish are your Jewish friends.
That's right. And most of them not celebrate, but
Participate?
they participate. They take time out and they don't eat on Yom Kippur. You can drink water. It's been established by Gabriel Lampert that you could drink water when you live in the desert.
Well,
Otherwise, your kidneys would blow out.
You should drink water, Mike.
You should.
It wouldn't be healthy to
No, it is
go
not.
without.
You could easily go without eating for a day. I mean, you know what? After sometime mid-morning, your body says, I'm not that hungry. It says that.
It says
I once fasted for 3 days.
That's what the growling is.
It doesn't growl. You have nothing left to growl.
I have fasted for 3 days too,
Yes.
and I followed it up with a high colonic
Oh, God.
because that's the way.
You
we do
really
it.
know how to have fun, don't you? That's how you clean yourself out.
Yeah, it is. Because you want to
they
wash
don't-
those toxins out.
And they don't do high colonics anymore. They found out it could be dangerous because sometimes the water shoots a little too high.
Well, you have to do it very carefully.
Yes. Did you do it yourself with a hose from your garden?
Well, of course. No, I went to a place that's what they
The
do.
high colonic thing?
I went to a place in Beverly Hills and I got a high colonic.
Well, Beverly Hills, I guess I trust. So that would be good for getting your colonics. High or low.
High or
Either
low.
way.
Left or right.
Or you can eat, there's a certain clay that comes from the Midwest that filters all the toxins out of your body. So you don't really have to go from the other direction. You just go from the top.
I see.
And the only time going from the other direction that I ever saw was on South Park.
Well, now, do you think eating chilies would help with the flu? Because we got flu season coming up.
You know, it wouldn't hurt because there's a lot of vitamin C in chili and whatever else they have.
And
so that would work, but
the capsaicin in there might.
capsaicin is a good thing. That was the word I was trying to think of. If you do get your flu shot, your doctor usually says, did you get your flu shot yet? And of course he should know because he has a record of everything you do. And you can tell him whatever you want, but if you say no, he'll say, hold on a second, and he'll turn around and give you a flu shot. But if you go to Walgreens, for every flu shot they give you, which is free because of Obamacare, preventive medicine is free under Obamacare if you're on it, they will give a flu shot to somebody in an underprivileged country, which now I believe is part of the United States and it's called Puerto Rico. But anywhere they need a flu shot. So it's a good idea to go there and get a flu shot. I think Target here, except we don't have a drugstore in Target, but other Targets have drugstores, they give you a $5 credit.
You can also get them for free at the hospital. People line up and get their flu shots. I know
Right,
somebody who
because
goes
preventive
every-
medicine is free under Obamacare. People think, oh, what good is Obamacare? Well, preventive medicine is good.
Preventive medicine is the cheapest form of medicine.
Yes.
Because once you get
And-
sick, it gets very expensive.
Which is what the insurance companies know. It costs
Yes.
way more to get rid of something than to stop it from ever starting.
Yes.
So eat chilies in whatever you have.
The only people who don't like preventive medicine
Are the
big
doctors.
pharma.
Big pharma, so you get to do all those medicines that they take years to experiment on people, which is what costs the most. So that's what costs more. So what else can we do to prevent things from happening to us? Put walls around ourselves,
Walls
right?
would-
Is that what happens?
Walls can be beneficial to keep things from coming or going, just like the border wall. We already have
We have a lot of border
hundreds of
wall
miles of border wall already constructed.
where most of the people have been crossing, and anywhere else is sheer waste.
And they want to redo, I guess, tear down what they have and redo it. I don't know. So it all matches.
Well, one of the things 45 wants is transparent border walls, because if somebody's throwing like a 20-pound bag of marijuana over, he doesn't want someone on the other side to get hit.
That's right.
You know, think about the odds of that you're spending $20 billion on.
Well, so what they want? Slats so you can see through it, or what? Plexiglass?
Right, I don't know. It's just silly. I mean,
Well, the problem with the wall, Michael,
is poor little animals.
it disrupts natural migration of things like the southwestern jaguar, the Mexican gray
It's a
wolf,
puma. Most animals,
coyotes,
frogs,
turtles, tortoises,
iguanas.
rabbits, anything that migrates, and there's a lot of migrating. They don't know where the border is.
Dinosaurs.
And they don't care.
Do you know Mexican jumping beans cannot jump over the wall? So how are they going to get to our country?
So that's one reason that the border wall is kind of a bad idea.
Anti-ecological, but who cares about that? Where we should have walls is around the coast of Florida and perhaps around the coast of Texas.
Like a seawall.
Against the water, which is what we're going to need because, of course, nobody believes in global warming. So, of course, you read this thing called Facebook. Ever hear of this thing called Facebook?
Heard of it.
Heard of it. Somebody on there had a thing of the silly things people don't believe in. Well, one of them, of course, is global warming. The other is some woman didn't believe in space. All those things out there, she says, the sky, that's it. So some people don't believe that the space is really space, which brings up the topic that we don't have on the list, which was the two black holes crashing into each other and making these incredible magnetic and gravitational waves to be discovered by three laboratories on the Earth. One of them has only been done by two so far in the past. Now they got a third in Italy, which sort of corroborates the idea that space is exciting. Black holes are nothing except gravitation. And when two amazing gravitational forces collide, crazy things happen. You don't think about that as existing because we think about the only things that matter are things like solid things. Gravitation makes things solid.
There's four forces in the universe, Michael, and that's it.
Women.
The strong force, the weak force, the electromagnetic force, and gravity.
What about may the force be with you?
Pick one.
One of those. So, anyway, we're talking about the border wall. I fit in the thing about space, seawalls, and you have the next topic. How much time do we have, sir?
Let's take a break and we'll come back.
We'll take a break.
And
we can take a break. This is like a wall
on.
between us and our sponsors.
And our viewers.
Yes.
So
don't let that stop you.
We'll be right
come back
with no walls.
Oh yeah, no walls. Make bridges. No.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business. According to the secret war, banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get the secret war free. Call the number on your screen or visit online.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. Call the number on your screen right now to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
And we're back.
Yes.
You're watching Double Talk right here on the Las Cruces channel.
I'm Michael Mandel, and this is
I'm Mark
still
Steffen.
Mark Steffen.
And, you know,
In case you didn't know that.
we had a lot of rain here this week. It rained all night the other night.
See, you know, that's why it's good to wear a yarmulke.
That's true. You don't want to catch cold.
Yeah.
Well, they had a lot more rain in Puerto Rico, thanks to the hurricane there.
You know, well, Puerto Rico isn't the only place that got hit, but Puerto Rico is the only place that almost got totally wiped out.
Them and some of the islands.
Some of the islands,
St.
St. Croix didn't get totally wiped out, but St. Thomas, St. John.
And the infrastructure in Puerto Rico was aging and decrepit in the first place. Now it's all gone.
No electricity. Some places say they do have electricity. They're arguing. Some people say there are no hospitals up. There was a thing that said some hospitals are working, but people who are on the radio that I listened to said, well, no, they're not really up.
Well, hospitals have generators that can supply power.
Except generators
They
need
need gasoline.
diesel gasoline.
Or diesel fuel of some kind, or gasoline, depending on the kind you have. And they can't get the fuel there.
Formerly because of the Jones Act, and the Jones Act was repealed whatever day we're doing the show, which was a couple of days ago, and now foreign tankers could go in and deliver supplies.
Yes.
They don't want contraband to get into the country. That's why they're keeping that.
Who's got time for contraband?
Yeah, but American ships can have contraband as well.
Well, the Jones Act was meant to keep from U.S. ports to U.S. ports had to be U.S. ships.
Right.
But now they'll let any ships do it
To
for the
Puerto
time
Rico,
being. Yes.
because they need food, they need water. The oddity of being flooded and not having any water.
They need electric trucks that can come in and fix the electric infrastructure.
Yeah. So
There's no air conditioning.
it's been at least a week now, and people are there. You know, a lot of people who live in the country there manage a little bit. Joe Somoza, you know Joe, he used to live there like in the 70s. They lived in a mountain. He said the electricity would go out a lot.
Yeah.
So they're kind of used to that, but I think, and they probably get their water from little buckets on the roof or something, but
You
they
know,
still
people
get used to.
They haven't been able to flush their toilets for a week.
How often are you supposed to flush them?
As often as
A week?
necessary.
Every week?
And
I don't know.
you know, so
There's no rules on toilets. You know, it doesn't come with a handbook. Please flush this. Every time
Well,
you use it, it seems kind of redundant.
you run the risk
know.
of diseases beginning to spread.
Yes,
when
that'll happen too.
you know, when human waste isn't taken care of properly.
And probably their sewer systems are not necessarily working anyway.
Because they're fired by electricity.
And they're also flooded, so they back up. So what are we
nightmare.
talking about this? We're talking about give money to organizations that are helping Puerto Rico. Of course, we've already given money to people in Houston and
Florida.
Galveston and Florida and other places, but we got to do it.
They need our help. They need it badly. And they need it immediately.
I'd go down there and help them.
Would you?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to lift more than
Well, it's a
15
Jewish holiday.
pounds.
You really can't go.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
too religious. Yeah. But
And
I'll pray for them.
okay,
Yeah, because that works. Oh, speaking of juice,
you
not
know,
being able to get juice,
Or orange juice goes bad if it's not refrigerated.
Orange juice, you bring that up, and there's O.J. Simpson, but
Yeah.
prior to your orange juice comment, a lot of the orange juice groves in Florida were ruined, and apparently we're going to have half as much orange juice as we usually have. So theoretically, that's okay. Just don't drink that much.
Well, the tomato crop is pretty much decimated in Florida too, which is the worst place in the country to grow tomatoes because it's the wrong climate for it.
So instead of tomato juice, drink V8.
So, but speaking of juice, the
OJ.
juice is about to be loose.
Juice is going to be loose.
They're going to release him from prison in October, sometime.
Most millennials don't even know who he is or what you're referring to.
That's true.
He was being indicted for, of course, killing his wife and her.
Which he got away with.
If he didn't do it, but we all think he did. But he did get away with because, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Right, but the postman rang twice on him.
Well, he rang his own bell because he actually went ahead and attacked some guy.
And stole his
years
own
later.
material back that he
Right.
thought had been stolen from him in a
Souvenirs, and
hotel.
I think apparently he kidnapped the guy. So he was put in for 35 years, they said? Is that what the paper
They were
said?
actually getting him back for his wife killing. But,
Well, yeah, they didn't
getting him-
relent.
Yeah.
So,
And, I worked with O.J. Simpson on a TV movie back in the 80s.
no, I didn't know that.
I did.
I didn't see that on your resume.
It was a TV movie
Did
called
you send your resume in to get this job?
Goldie and the Boxer, where he played a prize fighter who was being managed by this cute curly-headed little girl. And the show itself...
Was that one of you?
The TV
You
movie
had curly hair.
was so popular they actually did a sequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
did
what
not
year
work
was
on
that?
that one.
The 70s?
Gosh, no, the 80s.
The 80s. Wow.
This is when I lived in Hollywood.
Ah,
Yes. And
no wonder you wear those flashy shirts. And I'm stuck with this menial office worker attire.
yes. Now, there's a lot going on this weekend
Oh, yes, there is.
besides Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur writes everything off the books for me, because you want to get in the book of life. But there are a lot of things going on tonight.
Tonight, and yes.
Equivocation.
Equivocation is a play being produced at the university, at the theater department, and it's the final weekend for that. You can see it tonight and
Should be pretty good.
tomorrow matinee.
Which is what you're going to,
I'm
right?
going tomorrow Sunday matinee.
2 o'clock or
2 o'clock.
2:30.
2 o'clock.
Okay. Well, that's settled. But it's not a guy named equivocation.
Equivocation.
It's one word.
Equivocation. I don't know what it's about.
It's probably, that's what it's about, equivocating.
But my former co-host, Teddy Aspen, is
Sanchez.
in the play.
So that should be good. Maybe
I hear it's good. Mike Cook says it's
should be
good.
good. Well, Mike Cook says everything's good.
And-
But Mike Cook is good too. He's good.
It's also the closing weekend for the Shakespearean production of Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Which is done by Ken Forstall, and it'll be at the church across from the Las Cruces High School.
Yes, they're doing it outside in the courtyard, if the weather permitting,
It's supposed to be good this
for the
week.
final. For the
This
final
weekend's supposed to be nice.
So yeah, so I guess at night they're using lights. I don't know if there's a Sunday matinee, frankly.
I don't know either. It's Sunday. They probably can't have it because they probably have
So the church is in.
church. It's Shakespeare. If some of you don't recognize
It's a comedy.
Shakespeare, yes, and with Joe Pfeiffer, it will be a comedy.
And
Yes.
a third play opens this weekend at the Las Cruces
yes,
Community Theater.
yes.
Woody Allen's "Don't Drink the Water."
The first play he wrote for Broadway, I think, isn't it? And I
Could
think
be.
I read it. I did read it.
They did do a
It's
film
weird
version
thing,
of it,
yeah.
didn't they?
They did. Of course, that was maybe his first movie, unless it was he did a
Oh,
007 movie.
Oh well,
Remember that one?
What's Up, Tiger Lily?
He did that too.
But he didn't do it. He just changed the dialogue.
You're right. All right, he took the thing and he wrote
Took a
more
Japanese
dialogue.
subtitle and just added American
very funny.
dialogue dubbed
What else? As long as we're doing that. Oh,
in. Well, Redneck Tenors, they're playing Tuesday night at the Rio Grande Theater. I really don't know much about these guys, but
well, they're rednecks.
they're tenors, and
How
I guess
many
they
rednecks
sing
do you know?
redneck songs, right?
No, they probably do funny redneck jokes about things they sing.
And that's Tuesday night at 7:30 at the Rio Grande Theater. It's $25.
$25.
It's a little steep for Las Cruces.
On a
I'm
Tuesday
thinking.
night. On a Tuesday
On a
night.
Tuesday night.
I think they're the type of guys that are playing at Alto.
So I'm thinking these guys must be pros.
I think so. They get all
Yes.
Also, a very popular show, Little Shop of Horrors, is starting this weekend, starting Friday, at the Black Box Theater, No Strings Theater Company, the Black Box Theater. You know, the Hermans who run the theater love this show. They've seen it over 100 times.
Really?
Yes, they did. They see it whenever they can.
Now, this is the musical version.
Yes, and you should go there. It'd be a lot of fun.
Feed me, Seymour.
And that's 3 weekends starting next Friday. Oddly enough, the same theater, which is Black Box Theater, is showing, what is it? Breakneck Hamlet and Breakneck Julius Caesar. And you've seen those Hamlet things, or even the David Mamet things, where they do the entire oeuvre really quickly.
Really fast?
You know, because
With,
Hamlet
like,
is easily 3 or 4 hours.
I've seen Hamlet done with 4 people. Very rapidly. Professional actors, of course. I don't know anything about this.
This should be
group.
good. This is on Sunday. The Breakneck Julius Caesar is on at 2:30 Sunday, and Hamlet would be on. Well, it's on the 8th. Maybe it's on the 8th. It's a Monday.
Well, call for reservations.
Yeah, call them.
Call the Black Box
Look at their
Theater for
website.
reservations. Also, we want to mention the passing of Hugh Hefner, an American icon, really, in his own way.
Well, that's local. You know, it's not Europe.
He's the founder of Playboy magazine.
He made
the
people
Playboy
like
clubs.
bunnies. He made bunnies a thing to idolize.
And, you know, he's purveyor of beautiful women.
And you were once in his club when somebody was there who was wearing ears, right?
I remember the day when I was in 1979, I happened to go in the
Remember
back door
that?
of the Playboy Club because we were getting ice. They were nice enough to donate some ice to the film festival. And, but I never made it to his mansion.
No, if you went to his mansion, he would probably be in his pajamas because
Yes.
according to the stuff on the news, if he greeted people wearing a suit, they'd be disappointed because they're so used to seeing him in his pajamas.
Right.
And I'm thinking I should adopt that tradition and come here in my silk pajamas.
Well, I think he was in his pajamas because either he just had or is about to have sex.
That's what he wanted you to think. Actually, he's always in his pajamas because most of
Why
the
bother
time,
to-
most of the time we've been aware of him, he was pretty old. You know, he started his magazine Playboy in 1953.
Oh,
and
before I was born.
It was about what he wanted is that the girl next door was also interested in sex.
And he also had the Playboy philosophy. But we don't have time
Which
to
is
get
that?
into that because we're out of time.
We're out of time.
We are out of time.
And so is he. So,
and so is
see
he.
you.
So join us next week right here on Double Talk here on the Las Cruces channel.
Cheers. I'm holding up a water bottle, unfortunately.
some too.
Yes, cheers.